Hi, so this is a continuation of our last video where we have learned about what is DBMS and the types of DBMS. So coming to our main focus, which is RDBMS, okay, sorry, which is a relational DBMS. So to understand what is relational DBMS, first thing is that who introduced this relational DBMS? He was E.F. Codd. Okay, he was Edgar Frank Codd who introduced the world to RDBMS. Why it is called relational? Because whenever a database management system has data in the form of table, and what table has? It has rows and column. Whenever a database system has data saved in the format of tables, then it is called relational database management system. Okay, so who introduced it? E.F. Codd introduced it. Second, when relational model applied to DBMS, then it is relational DBMS. What this means? So we have a DBMS, right? When we applied a relational model, it becomes a RDBMS, right? Okay. So and what is relational? Whenever data stored in the format of table, which is row and columns, we termed as relational DBMS. Okay. And the third point is in RDBMS, all data stored in form of table, right? How it is stored in the form of table, and in DBMS, how it's stored in the form of file, right? Remember? Okay. Fourth point. Here also, to communicate with the DB, what we use SQL, structured query language. Fifth point, RDBMS will also provide us security and authorization, same as DB. And here also we can do CRUD operations, right? So to conclude, all these things is that, let me conclude all these things for you. Relational DBMS introduced by E.F. Codd, which is Edgar Frank Codd, and when we apply a relational model, who introduced it? Edgar Frank. When we apply a relational model to DBMS, it becomes RDBMS, right? In RDBMS, data is stored in a which format? Table format. How to communicate with the database in a relational DBMS? Using SQL only. RDBMS also provides us with the security and authorization, and here also we can do the CRUD operations. That's it. Thank you. And few things to keep in mind when it comes to relational DBMS is that, let me cover this thing also in this part. So first thing, why it is called relational? Because it has the data is stored in the form of table, right? Which is a logical organization of rows and columns, right? We know that. We all know how tables are like this, right? You will have a column 1 here, column 2, row 1, row 2, row 3, right? And in this intersection of row and column is nothing but a cell. Okay. So what is cell? Intersection of row and column. Third, what is row? Row is nothing but a record or tuple. These thing is nothing but a record or tuple. This complete thing is your tuple or record. Okay. Now column. What is this column is field, attribute or property. Now understand, when I say what is data, it is a raw fact, right? See, all these things in the table, like suppose I have a name here, gender here, and age here, right? XYZ has a gender male and he's 25. PQRABC. So it's a female, it's a male, it's 25, 26, 27. Okay. So this is a raw fact, right? What it describes, what it describes, these name, gender, age are nothing but the attribute, which is a column, right? The whole data describes a thing about a person, right? So in our case, entity is a person. So data is a raw fact which describes the attribute or property of an entity. In this case, it is a person, right? And in SQL, it is a table which describes the persons or employees. It can be employee table, it can be person table, anything it can be. Okay, so keep in mind all these things. We'll move on to there are 12 EF chord rules which we need to understand. EF chord rules. Um, Actually, it is 13, but since the rule starts from 0, so it's 12. So there are 12 EF chord rules, but there are few which we have to keep in mind to move on further with the SQL thing. Okay. Thank you.